Welcome to Retirement and Income Radio with your host, Larry Weiss. Larry is a no-market risk retirement and income specialist, primarily serving Kentuckiana, but he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Weiss is a licensed life insurance professional in the states of Indiana and Kentucky, and he specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies. And now, here to talk with you about no market risk retirement planning, your host, Larry Weiss.
Thank you for joining me this week. I'm still Larry Weiss, host of Retirement and Income Radio. I specialize in asset and retirement protection and am the owner of Elder Advisors, a no market risk retirement planning company serving Louisville, Kentucky, and Southern Indiana. Let me ask you a question. Do you have more time today or less than you did yesterday? It's not really a trick question, but of course the answer is no. Without a doubt, if you're still working, you have less time until you retire. If you are retired, you have less time to enjoy it. It's kind of a 6 of one, half a dozen of another, isn't it? That's why you need to look at protecting your retirement profits now with a no market risk planning. Participating in market gains, the upside, but never the downside, which are the market losses. This way, it allows you to have an insurance policy that protects you against time, because none of us have enough of it. If you're 30 years old and the market crashes, your investment money has time to recover. That's why you're 30 years old, you'll take more market risk with money than someone who's older. Retirement's out of sight, out of mind. When you're young, it's just not something you think about. But when you're 60, we start looking at it a little differently. I know I do. What happens when the market crashes? Let's say you're retiring in 5 years. How do you make back those losses in 5 years when the market drops by 30 or 40 or even just 20%? You didn't make your money back in the last crash. It was 5 years ago, did you? If your money is deposited in a no-risk account, you don't lose a dime from market loss. Cake and eat it too, people. It's real simple. What if you're already in retirement? How are you going to make back losses while you're drawing money out of your account for income or the RMDs, the required minimum distributions? It's almost impossible. I'm not just saying that, but I can mathematically prove it to you. Why would you want to waste years of making up for losses anyway? It's like trying to outrun your shadow. You just can't do it. That's what I mean when I say no market risk planning is an insurance policy that protects you against time. We never have enough of it, do we? When the market goes up, you get the opportunity to participate in those gains. When the market goes down, you don't participate in any of the losses. That means your account balance doesn't decrease. In other words, it doesn't lose value during a market loss. How is that an insurance against time? If you don't have the time to make up for the losses, the next time the market goes up, you get gains from an account balance that never decreased. Before I continue to explain this concept, let me invite you to make a call. Call me today for a free suitability review appointment. Please understand, I don't work with everyone. My typical client has a minimum of $100,000 in money set aside for retirement and savings, usually more. I only work with those at or near retirement. That typically means age 50 to 75 with very few exceptions. For those that I do meet with, you'll be provided with one of our free signed copies of our book and illustrations on how we can do what we call the power of reset, can help you protect your money while still having the opportunity for growth and lifetime income. Give me a call now, 844-381-SAFE, like what the banks have in the basement. SAFE. That's 844-381-7233. It's a free, no cost or obligation phone call. So let's get back to the issue of time. Why settle for lost value when you can build new value? That's why I call our planning system an autopilot gain and retain financial strategy. The technical term for this is what's called an annual reset. Think about this in terms of a roller coaster. You know, we've got all these crazy ones over Kentucky Kingdom. I go up and down Crittenden when I'm going to the airport, and I see there's that one big rickety wooden roller coaster. The only thing I get out of that roller coaster is I get sick when I get to the end of it and a headache for the rest of the day. So I don't do the roller coasters anymore, people. Nope, not for me. Nope. But I digress, Kentuckiana. When a roller coaster is being pulled up on the hill, you hear a clicking noise. Each time you hear a click, that's a mechanism that locks the coaster so it can't go backwards. If the machine pulling the coaster up the track fails, the coaster will stop so it doesn't go into reverse. In a no market risk strategy, that's called an annual reset. Any market growth that pulls your money up a steep track and each year you hear a click, that sound is your money being locked into place. That's peace of mind, so it can never go backwards during market losses. You can only go up from market gains, and you can never go backward from a market loss. Every year, your account value gets locked into place so it can't go into reverse. Like I said, it's an autopilot gain and retain strategy. We don't go backwards. How is that different from investing in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, variable annuities, or other risk-based investments? And there's a question mark after the word investments. In risk-based investments, you don't hear the clicks. If the market machine breaks, you get thrown into reverse. If you get pulled to the top, it dumps you over the other side. In a risk-based investment, there's no clicking noises, no gains are being locked. Instead, you hear the nervous laughter on the way up and the screaming on the way down. And I would be one of the people screaming on the way down. I just let it go. What do you hear from people with their money in no market risk strategies? Again, question mark. If you hear nothing at all, that's a sigh of quiet relief. No nervous laughter, no screaming. They're not watching the TV every day for all the whims and woes of the world. My clients get to keep their gains. That's called peace of mind. Their account balance doesn't decrease 1 penny due to a market loss because their coaster only goes up. I guess it's more like an escalator. It may stop now and then, but it never retreats. It never goes backwards. Answer this question for me, Kentuckiana. How much better would you be off today if you had never experienced losses from the last market crash, or any of the crashes for that matter? You know the answer, don't you? Let me tell you what my job is. In fact, what my mission statement is in this life. I'm here to stop the screaming. I can't save everyone. If you haven't saved enough money for me to help you, I'm sorry, I apologize. I wish I could help everyone, but the bottom line is there's only so many hours in a day and way too many people at or approaching retirement age that I need to help. So here's the deal, Kentuckiana. You need to have significant retirement savings and be at least age 50 to give me a call. When you call, we will talk, and I will tell you if you're a candidate for my services. I'm not going to waste your time or mine. If you qualify for me to help, you will have 100% of my attention. For a complimentary suitability review, it's really simple, Kentuckiana. Call 844-381-SAFE, like what the banks have in the basement, SAFE. Once we talk, I can determine then if we should meet, if it's worth your time, if it's worth my time. But I need to determine if I can help you, and that starts with a phone call today. 844-381-7233. Kentuckiana, if we end up working together, I'm going to get to know you, and you're going to get to know me. It means I'm not going to just sell you financial products, but instead use financial products to solve problems. What a unique concept. Let me repeat that. I'm not going to just sell you financial products, but instead use financial products to solve problems. I like that. I like that. I hope you understand this, because there are way too many financial salespeople out there just throwing financial products into a fan and seeing what sticks to the wall. I'm sorry, Kentucky, and I've been doing this for over 25 years, and I know that's a quarter century now. That's not how I do business. If what I'm saying makes sense, call me. Once again, my number is 844-381-7233. That number again, 844-381-SAFE, like what the banks have in the basement. SAFE. Wouldn't it be great if you could automatically avoid the bad years of the market? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Unfortunately, most people are just concerned with losing money, and they don't understand the impact of losing time. You know, I've told my family, I tell a lot of the clients I work with, I've been doing this for over 25 years. Money's an important consideration. There's no doubt about it. But for me, the most precious commodity is time, because we only have so much of it. And it's important we spend it with family that we care about, love, and more importantly, on the business side, make use of our time, because we don't want to chase our tail all the time. Why wouldn't you want to insure your biggest assets, your retirement savings, against losing time and value? Don't you think that just because your broker hasn't told you about this, that it's too good to be true? Don't think that, because that's not the case. It is that good to be true. By the way, when it comes to no market risk planning, I don't make a dime from your money. I get paid directly from the balance sheet of the highly rated companies that I work with. If you like 100% of your money exposed to commissions, management fees, then I'm not your best option. Then stay where the money's at, get the Christmas card from the broker, you're paying for it. But if you want some of your money protected from the deterioration of fees, commissions, and the downside of the risk of the market, then we should have a conversation. And that conversation starts when you call me, 844-381-7233. That's 844-381-SAFE, like what the banks have in the basement, SAFE. Kentuckiana, since I have to take a short break, now would be a great time for you to call me and ask for a signed copy of my book, Retirement Income, and also ask for a free 1-hour consultation. It starts with a phone call. My number is 844-381-SAFE, like money in the bank. It's SAFE. That's 844-381-7233. Isn't it time you stop exposing your retirement to market risk? You're listening to Safe Retirement Income Radio with your glorious host, Larry Weiss.
Are you trying to decide if you should take your full pension or a reduced amount with a survivor benefit? This is a major decision, and once you make that decision, there's no turning back. What if you could take the higher payment from your pension and leave behind a large tax-free lump sum benefit to your spouse? We call this our Pension Replacement Program. Don't even think about deciding on your pension payments without finding out more about this program. Call Larry Weiss now at 844-381-SAFE. That's 844-381-7233. Larry Weiss will show you a plan to increase your income, hedge against inflation, and enhance the life of your beneficiaries. Call Larry Weiss now at 844-381-SAFE. That's 844-381-7233. You're listening to Retirement and Income Radio with your host, Larry Weiss.
Welcome back to Retirement and Income Radio. I'm still Larry Weiss, a safe money retirement specialist. As usual, let's start off this segment with a question. Would you like to lose all of your money, some of your money, or none of your money? I know it's kind of a silly rhetorical question, but the point of this is to get you to think about something. I've asked that question to my clients thousands of times, and almost everyone says, well, I don't want to lose any of my money. Mark Twain once said that he was more concerned with the return of his money than the return on his money. I'm pretty sure that was Will Rogers. Or if it was Will Rogers, he took it from Mark Twain. But either way, it begs the point. You want to hang on to what you have. Here's the problem. Most people don't want to lose any money, but their investments don't reflect that desire. I kid you not when I tell you that I constantly see retirees with 100% of their retirement funds in risk-based investments. It's a ticking time bomb just waiting to go off, Kentuckiana. What if you had the chance to avoid ticking time bombs through participation in the upside of the market without participation in the downside? You hear me say, my clients, they get to have their cake and eat it too. If you're one of those people that don't want to see their entire life's efforts disappear overnight because of something you have no control over, but still want generous growth opportunities, that's why you want to give me a call. And it starts 844-381-SAFE, like what the banks have in the basement. SAFE. Once we talk, I can determine if we should meet, but first I have to determine if I can even be of help to you. My number is 844-381-7233. That's 844-381-7233. It starts with a phone call. Now, obviously, some money can afford to be lost and some money absolutely can't be lost. Let's say that your income greatly exceeds your expenses on a guaranteed lifetime basis and is hedged for inflation to grow over your lifetime. In other words, you and your spouse can never outlive your income. Your income is adequate and your income will increase to offset inflation. In this scenario, your money would not be used for income, might be suitable for some risk of loss to potentially take advantage of hypothetical gains. We've talked about that before on this show. So you might say that you are not willing to lose any of your money dedicated for lifetime income, but for money not used for income, you could take some risk on. What if you need all your money for income? That describes many of the people I work with, but unfortunately, some of them don't know that until I tell them. Longevity risk is just as bad, if not worse than market risk. If you live too long, will your money last as long as you do? How do you plan for living too long? The sad truth is most people plan for longevity risk by underliving their retirement. Underliving retirement, what does that mean? It's an unfortunate truth because I find right here in Kentucky and most people do not live their retirement to its full potential. Why is that? We just talked about it. Because a lot of people have great amounts of uncertainty in their retirement plan. Even wealthy people can have this problem as it relates to their desired income. If you're listening to me right now, there's a pretty good chance you don't want to underlive your income. I don't think anyone would. In other words, you probably want to get the most out of your retirement money, live the dream as they say, but also know that you won't run out of money before you run out of life. If you want a retirement that can live up to its potential, ask for a free consultation, and it starts with a phone call. 844-381-SAFE, like what the banks have in the basement, SAFE. We will provide you this amazing retirement resource. We'll make sure it's available to you when we sit down and talk about your different income strategies. Take away the financial stress in your golden years. And again, our number is 844-381-SAFE, like what the banks have in the basement, a SAFE. Now let's get back to what I mentioned at the beginning of this segment. If you don't want to lose any of your money and you don't want to run out of your money before you die, yet you still want to maximize your income and live off your retirement to its full potential without stress and worry, what are you going to do? If your retirement plan is based on a hypothetical growth with risk of loss and unknown mortality, how do you know how much money you can actually spend on your retirement? As you've heard me say before, a retirement plan with a hypothetical growth rate, risk of loss, is an arbitrary spending rate with an assumed date of death is called IFCOM because you don't know if it's going to be there when you need it. You have also heard me say that a retirement based on a hypothetical, arbitrary, that means guessing, and assumed information is no way to live. Imagine if you had an income floor that you could never live below. Imagine a peace of mind, the confidence that you would have in your retirement if you knew your income was adequate and growing. Imagine if you had solutions in place for spousal survivorship. Imagine if you had done something to offset the potential cost of long-term care. Wouldn't that be a better way to live than having a retirement based on a guessing game, which all too many people here in Kentuckiana have these days? It's sad. Wouldn't it allow you to relax and enjoy retirement without the constant stress of having circumstances beyond your control steal the joy out of your golden years? That's why it starts with a phone call, Kentuckiana. It starts with a call. These are important questions that need answers on. You can count on. Give me a call today, 844-381-SAFE. 844-381-SAFE, like what the banks have in the basement, SAFE. Kentuckiana, I'm still Larry Weiss, the host of Retirement and Income Radio. I'll be right back after this rather informative message.
Since 2009, Retirement and Income Radio has been here for you.
Wonderful.
Every week with the same message.
Marvelous.
Protect your principal. Guarantee a lifetime of income and keep your money safe.
It's wonderful. It's marvelous.
Retirement and Income Radio.
Wonderful.
What do you do in the morning? Do you spend the time with your first cup of coffee looking at the newspaper or watching financial news? How would you like to get that part of your life back? Our clients never have to watch financial news on TV or in the paper because their results are guaranteed. If the market goes up, they can participate. If the market goes down, they never participate. Now that's peace of mind. Wouldn't you rather enjoy your mornings instead of filling them with the stress of the markets? Call us now and we can show you how to sleep at night without the worry of market risk and outliving your retirement money. Our phone number is 844-381-SAFE. That's 844-381-7233. You're listening to Retirement and Income Radio with your host, Larry Weiss.
Thank you for tuning in to Retirement and Income Radio. I'm still Larry Weiss, but I am definitely a new market risk retirement and asset protection specialist. When I talk to my clients, one of the most common questions I get is, what kind of a return can I get on my money? My answer to that question is another question. For what purpose? We have different objectives. Sometimes that question confuses the people I'm talking to. They might say, for what purpose? What do you mean by that? I just want my money to grow. If I'm being honest, this is one of the things that drives me crazy about the financial planning industry. The financial news, the brokerage houses, and so many so-called financial planning experts talk about growth but don't talk about purpose. For example, what if you had $100,000 and it grew by 20%? You might feel good because now you have $120,000. I would feel good with that return too. But then what if your investment experienced a 20% loss? Yikes. Now you feel bad. You're going to eat Pop-Tarts, not get up in the morning. Now you feel bad because a 20% loss of $120,000 brings your account down to $96,000. Well, now you're behind the eight ball. Now you have less than you started with. First, you feel great. Then you feel terrible. That's why you're eating Pop-Tarts in the basement, because none of those emotions were based on purpose, just gain and loss. If there is no purpose for your money, then what does it matter if it grows or declines? This is why I say there is no planning without purpose. There has to be something you are trying to accomplish with your money for a return on your investment to be important. If you want a retirement plan with purpose, not just arbitrary and hypothetical predictions of growth that might never materialize and can certainly disappear overnight, remember we talked about the roller coaster, then we need to talk. It starts with a phone call, 844-381-SAFE, like what the banks have in the basement, SAFE. Once we talk, I can determine if we should meet, if it's worth your time, and if it's worth my time. But first, I must determine if I can help or not. It starts when you call, ask for a signed copy of our book. My phone number is 844-381-7233. That number again, 844-381-7233. So let's think about the purpose of money planning in terms of building a house. If you were to build a house, you need to first ask yourself, what are you trying to accomplish? First, you would want to make sure you have enough rooms. Think of this as your dream house right now. I bet you can tell me how many rooms it would have and the purpose for each of those rooms. You might be thinking about the house you're in right now and how you would make your new house different to better fulfill the purpose when you get to the new house. If you're like most people, having enough rooms is not the only thing to consider. You might have an opinion on how the house would look because of a certain design that makes you feel good about the house you live in. You might want it to be reliable, have appliances, equipment that adequately perform the functions and don't break down. More importantly, I bet you would want your house to be safe and built to modern day building codes. Imagine if your new house didn't have a guest room and when the grandkids came over with their parents, there was no place for them to sleep. Imagine you had a brand new garage door, but every time you hit the opener, the door wouldn't open because the equipment was defective. Imagine building a brand new, beautiful home only to enjoy it for a short time, knock on wood, and then watch it burn to the ground because it was built without the purpose of being safe. Yeah, that's a scary thought. I saw a house burn down 4 doors down from me once, and that was not a pleasant experience. They blocked the street off for half the day. Very bad. Yeah, I don't like that. That's kind of a flashback. Oof. Now think about your retirement money. What are you trying to accomplish? What good is the money if it doesn't fulfill a purpose? Maybe we should talk? Don't you think so? I think we should. It starts with a phone call today. Call 844-381-SAFE. Like what's at the bank? SAFE. I always make myself available for a free consultation. I promise we will not talk about retirement products or rates of growth without a specific intention to fulfill a meaningful, dependable purpose in your life and the lives of those that you love and depend on. Again, it starts with a phone call. Our number is 844-381-SAFE, like what's at the bank? SAFE. Houses don't burn down very often anymore because we learned a long time ago that building a house means building something that keeps its occupants safe. Unfortunately, I don't think we've learned that lesson when it comes to retirement planning. I still see people euphoric when the market goes up, we all are, and depressed when the market goes down. Yeah, no one wants to go on the downside of that. If people were building their retirement for the purpose of living in their retirement, they wouldn't be exposing their retirement home to being burned down by market risk. Just like when you build a house, you want it to be safe. What good is all the time and money of investing in a home just to lose it? The same thing is true for your home, is true for your retirement. If you build a retirement, you build it to live in, not just to look at a big account value and then one day see it disappear because you didn't protect it. How's your retirement built? Look at what you're doing with your retirement right now and ask yourself, do I have an income floor that I can count on? Is it adequate? Is it keeping up with inflation? Will it survive the death of a spouse when Social Security and pension income is lost? Will it be deteriorated by long-term care cost? Do I have tax-free income replacement strategy? For all those questions that need answers that you can count on, it starts with a phone call today. Give us a call, 844-381-SAFE, just like what the banks have in the basement. SAFE. Well, Kentuckiana, my producers tell me that's about all the time I have for today here at Retirement and Income Radio. But before I go, I do want you to know that I sleep at night knowing that none of my clients have ever lost a single penny to market risk. I want you to sleep at night too, Kentuckiana. Until next time at the same time, I'm still Larry Weiss, still slightly beautiful, reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to Retirement and Income Radio with your host, Larry Weiss. Find out how to guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe with locked-in returns and never going down due to market risk, so you can have the future that you deserve. Call Larry Weiss now for your free retirement and income book and retirement and income kit at 844-381-SAFE. That's 844-381-7233. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base annuity contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Annuity guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you're just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It is important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program may vary based on state availability and are subject to change without notice.